Hello everyone, hope you all are good and safe at home. Welcome back to the educational channel. Dear students, today we are going to start our new lesson that is called A Play of Word. Unit 9, lesson number 9, A Play of Words. So this lesson is very funny and it is very nice story about British man. So here in this video we are going to study about reading the paragraphs, explanation and new words. So here you can see the list of meaning of new words. Take the screenshot and write it down in English notebook. So without further delay, let's get started. A play of word. The title has given a play of word means here one person played around the word because words will have more meanings, is it? And we have to use where we have to use those, there only have to use, and they have different situation we have to use other, is it? So before going to start, you should keep your textbook in front of you and put a finger. A play of word. B.G. Horniman was a Britisher by birth, but he was a staunch supporter of India, especially during her struggle for independence. He had come down from England to be the editor of the Bombay Chronicle, an English daily, started by Sir Firoz Shah Mehta. Seeing the atrocities committed by the British government on Indians in India, he used his post to lash out against his own government. Indians had no freedom in their own land, not even freedom of speech. He freely criticized his countrymen for their wrong policies. He became a champion of India's independence movement. So B.G. Horniman, full name is Benjamin Guy Horniman. He was born on 1873 and died 1948 after the independence, after India independent, is it? So he was a British man. He was a British man by birth, Britisher by birth, but he was a staunch supporter. Staunch means a very loyal supporter, very honest supporter of India. And here her means India, our India, Bharat Mata. So this situation, this story happened during India's struggle for independence. When it means before getting independence. It means 1947, before 1947, and he had come down. He means B.G. Horniman came from England as an editor of the newspaper, the Bombay Chronicle, and this is the English daily paper, and this one started by Sir Firoz Shah Mehta. And while he is doing his job, he observed the British government, and they are ruling very bad, and they are giving the punishment, bad punishment, and ruling very cruelly to the Indian people. So he saw them and he felt very bad, so that he is working in the newspaper, so that he got a chance to post against his own government. So what they are doing, wrong policy, whatever they made the wrong policies, those are posting in the newspaper. Lash out means here criticizing, means to find immediately their wrong policies, their their mistake, their fault, all their opinion, bad punishment, bad impression. So because he felt the Indians had no freedom in their own land, not even freedom of speech in that their land, their own land, they did not have a freedom. How it is very bad. So that he criticized his countrymen for their wrong policies, and he became a champion of India's independence movement. Next paragraph. The British government tolerated this for some time. Several warnings were issued to him, but he paid no heed to them. He continued to use the paper to criticize the undemocratic, corrupt and harsh regime of the Britishers. When they could not tolerate it anymore, the British Viceroy Lord Wavell issued orders for his deportation. And that is how B.G. Horniman found himself back in London on a cold, chilly afternoon, but he was not one to take these orders lying down. He was very angry and upset. He kept thinking of ways to return to India. He knew his place was there, not in his hometown, London. So he criticized his own government and posting against the British government. So the British government tolerated, means they keep quiet sometime. They tolerated, put them to nothing doing. But after several times they also warned to the B.G. Horniman, don't post against the British government. But he did not pay. He did not pay his attention. Heed means his attention. He did not notice it. Heed means he did not notice it and did not care about their warnings. And he continued to posting and using the papers and criticizing their undemocratic, corrupt, harsh regime ruling Indian people. So after when they could not tolerate, they means British government, then British Viceroy. Look at the picture. So they are ruling very badly to the people. So he felt very bad. Then the British Viceroy, Lord Wavell, issued orders for his deportation. He banished to the B.G. Horniman, who British Viceroy, Lord Wavell, because he posting the against the British government, so that they deported to the B.G. Horniman, and he came back to London. So one day, chilly morning, what happened? He was not one to take these orders. So not only he one, if anybody will go against the British government, they will deport that person. So that he was become very angry and upset. So one time he was thinking on the way and how to go to return back to India, because his hometown London is not my place. I know my place is there, India, because I love India. I have to go to India. So his desire. Next paragraph. One day, as he was taking a walk in a park, he removed the deportation order paper from his overcoat pocket and read it for the umpteenth time. And you should never again land in India until His Majesty's government pleases to permit you. So when one day in London he was walking in a park, and suddenly he remembered that a deportation order paper, and he removed and he from his overcoat and started to reading. So when he started reading, until time he got an idea. So in that paper, what they have written? You should never again land in India until His Majesty's government pleases to permit you. So this line, which line? You should never again land in India until His Majesty's government pleases to permit you. So this line, while reading this line, he got an idea. What is that? Let us see. Next paragraph. Suddenly his face lit up. He was all smiles. An idea germinated in his mind. He rushed to meet his friend who was a travel agent and booked himself a ticket for Colombo. So when he read that order paper and that sentence, you should never again land in India until His Majesty's government pleases to permit you. This line, when he read this line, suddenly his face lit up, means sharply sparkled, because he got an idea. Germinated in his mind, one idea germinated, means came. What was that? We will see in the last. After when he got an idea, he suddenly came to meet his friend who was a traveling agent, and he suddenly booked himself a ticket for Colombo. So when Colombo, it is in the Sri Lanka. The next paragraph. Next ship was sailing in a couple of weeks. Horniman paid the money and ensured himself a berth in the ship. His mind was working overtime. He could not stay away from India, especially now when she needed his services the most. It was as if India had cast a spell over him. So when he booked his ticket for Colombo, so the next ship was sailing a couple of weeks. So then he booked that and he paid the money also, and he and also ensured and also booked a sleeping berth. Sleeping berth means here sleeping place in the ship. And also his mind was working overtime, thinking how to proceed that idea. And she needed, means here India needed my service, because it is a struggling. The people, Indian people are struggling very bad. And also they are getting punishment from the British rule. So India needs my help, my service. So he wanted to go there, and now it's a time to serve my service to her. Her means in India, Bharat Mata. Next paragraph. He told nobody of his plans. Whenever his friends questioned him, he would say, I am going to Colombo for a long vacation. He was good at concealing his anxiety and his excitement. So he said that, So whenever any his friends asked him to where are you going, then he said that I am going to Colombo for a long vacation. And here concealing means he hid. He kept a secret that idea, and he was very excited to that idea. Then finally, next paragraph, finally the day arrived, he packed a few belongings in a small bag and reached the port. When the officers checked his passport, he stopped him. Sir, why are you going to Colombo? So finally the day has arrived. So because the next ship was sailing in a couple of weeks. Is it? So the day has arrived, then he packed all his belongings and in the small bag and he reached the port. Where boats will be, sailing boat will be staying. Port, and in there that the officer asked him, stopped him and said, Sir, why are you going to Colombo? Then Horniman stiffly, means very strictly, very straightly said that, without fear he said that, for business. Then officer said, Sir, mark my words, stay away from India. You will be arrested if you go there. Anyway, as part of my duty, I am informing the officials in India that you are headed for Colombo. So that officer, passport checking officer in the sailing boat in that port, he said that, Sir, mark my words, means remember my words and you stay away from India. You are going to Colombo. It is in the capital city of Sri Lanka. So you will be arrested if you go the India, because that is near to the India. Sri Lanka is in Colombo. So anyway, as my duty, it's my duty to inform you. So I informed you. I told you. And also my duty is to inform to the Indian officers to inform. It's my duty to inform Biju Horniman going to Colombo. I have to inform to the Indian officers. That's okay, smiled Horniman, happy to be boarding the ship. He spent a few relaxed days on board, reading, sleeping, and writing. Then the ship docked and he entered Colombo. He was getting restless now. The next night, he took a boat train to India and thereafter a mail train which finally brought him to Victoria Terminus, Bombay. The year was 1925. So when the officer warned to the B.G. Horniman, they were warned, then he said, okay, that's okay, you can inform to the Indian officer, no problem. So then he spent the more a few relaxed days on the boat, and he reached the Colombo. Then the ship docked means docked and he entered the Colombo. He came to the Colombo. Then he became restless. So he has the next night he took boat train to India and a mail train which finally brought him to Victorian terminals. Which one Victorian terminals? We will see in, okay. A big team of policemen was waiting for him at the platform. He was detained. Horniman was prepared for this. He was unperturbed. So here a big team, when he reached the Victoria Terminus, Bombay, it means it is a place, a train, that is a this is the one of the place of in the Bombay. When he reached from the train, that year 1925. When he reached that time, a big team of policemen, look at the picture, was waiting for him at the train platform, and detained means here he was waiting. He knew that yes, the policeman will be come. He was mentally prepared. Yes, they will do this only. But he did not say his plan what was that. Is it? He entered to the India. So he will be arrested. Is it? Next. When he was brought before the state magistrate, orders for his rearrest were issued. The media got wind of this. They reported the matter, and everybody began speculating about the fate of B.G. Horniman. They were wondering why he had done something as foolish as this. Finally, the day of judgment arrived. Horniman greeted the magistrate with the respect. The magistrate returned a half smile. Then he asked Horniman, "Sir, you were deported to England and debarred forever from coming back to India. Then why did you return?" So the policeman was waiting to arrest him in the platform. So they arrested, and when they brought him to the state magistrate in the court, so when the media also were wondered about that, and they're talking why he done foolish work, why he become everybody has that matter about talking about that matter, how he foolish, why he foolish thing, why he done this foolish thing. So if the British government has debarred, then also he entered in the India. So media got wind of this, means they spread the news in the paper everywhere, and they were wondering why he had done something as foolish as this. Finally, the day has come to do the judgment in the court. When they admitted the court, so the cases was running. That time, Horniman greeted, means he greeted to the magistrate with respect, but magistrate with harsh smile he returned for his respect, his greeting. Then also he asked, state magistrate asked him, "Sir, you were deported and debarred ever from coming back to India, then why did you come?" So judge asked to the Horniman. Then Horniman, next paragraph, Horniman requested the magistrate to read the deportation order again. The magistrate compiled. Then Horniman said, "Sir, on the basis of the deportation order served to me, I have committed no offense by coming to Bombay." So he requested to the magistrate to read the deportation order again. So the magistrate has taken, he was reading. Then Horniman said that, "Sir, on the basis of the deportation order served me, I have no committed any mistake by coming to Bombay." Then the magistrate was confused. "What are you saying, sir?" He read that one, then he did not get the idea. So the magistrate was confused and he asked, What are you saying, sir?" Then Horniman replied, "Sir, the deportation order states that I can never land in India without the government's consent. I have not landed in India. I have alighted in India. You never land by train. You only alight from it. Therefore, I have not committed any offense. It is the police who have committed an offense by detaining and arresting me. Horniman flashed a big smile at the magistrate. When magistrate was confused and when he asked what you are saying, then Horniman replied and explained what his idea, what he want to say. Then he said that, sir, in the deportation order paper, what they have stated, what they have written, I can never land in India, is it? But I have not landed in India, I have alighted in India, because we never land by train, we only alight from it. So I have not landed from aeroplane, I have alighted, I have alighted, I came down from the train, not from aeroplane, is it? Therefore, I have not committed any offense. It is the police. So, police only committed the offense to arresting me without reason, without any offense, without any mistake, they are arrested me. So, by saying this, he showing the big smile at the magistrate. Next paragraph, the magistrate was at a total loss of words. Horniman's arguments held a lot of weight. The case was dismissed. Horniman had made a case for himself to stay back in India. The media reported this. Horniman became a hero and continued to support India till he breathed his last in 1948. So when he said that I have not landed in India, I have alighted in India. We never land by train. So I only alighted from train. So when he said that, then magistrate was totally become loss of words. He did not say anything because he is right in the in the part of the way he is right. He is not landed, he is alighted. So he becomes speechless. Oh, the judge becomes speechless. Then those Horniman's arguments was held a lot weight. He can't speak anything to him. So that case was dismissed at that time only. Then after the Horniman made a case himself to stay back in India. So here he made the case. To that reason has given, I wanted to stay back in India. I did not done any mistake. Simply they are arrested. So the media reported this and press and printed in the newspaper also. It is spread in the whole this news. So again he became hero and continued to support India till he died in 1948. So this is the complete explanation of the story. I hope you understood. So that's why the title has given a play of words. So the word we can play, we can trap anyone by words, is it? So here he used that word and made speechless to the judge, Meiji Horniman. I hope you understood. Now take down the homework, write the meaning of new words in English notebook and one time and read the whole lesson 2 times. Is it clear? Okay. We will meet in the next lesson. Till then, goodbye. Thank you, my dear students.